So, like I said, I was planning on doing power rankings every 2 weeks or so throughout the rest of the NFL regular season, and that's what I'm doing here. Did the first set of rankings after week 4. Gonna do these ones here after week 6, and then week 8, and and you get the point here. All right, so anyways, let's go ahead and talk about my power rankings. You can look at the teams from 1 to 32 down in the description box below. I think you get to a point now, you're 6 weeks into the season, you can start to see the differentiation between the true haves, the true have-nots, and then the rest of that kind of cluttered schmaz that's in the middle. Now, certainly you could look at the bottom and you say, oh man, why you got to do the Detroit Lions like that? Weren't you just sitting there and saying, mock Dan Campbell at the Lions and the Lions at your own peril? I was. I put the Jeff Jinx on them Sunday. I'm sorry, Detroit fans. That's 100% on me and me alone. Not your defense giving up 34 points to the Bengals or your offense being the shits and only scoring 11, but it's all me. It's all my fault. While I personally do not think the Detroit Lions are the worst team in the league, 0-6 is 0-6, and they're the only winless team left, so I've got to put them there. If the season ended today, the Detroit Lions would be on the clock for the first overall pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. And what perfect timing for the Detroit Lions to potentially have the number 1 overall pick in a year where there's not a clear-cut quarterback, at this moment at least, that's worthy of that number 1 overall pick, or that any of those quarterbacks will be worth that type of high selection. Yeah. Get it in a year that you got to go the Mario Williams, Jadeveon Clowney, Houston Texans are fucking dumb dicks route and probably have to take somebody like Kayvon Thibodeau or something. Yeah. That's Lions gonna Lions! Get the top pick in the wrong year. I don't expect them to stay there, but, who knows. But yeah, only winless team in the league right now, they belong there. Houston Texans, to me, that's the worst team in the league, but, they won a game, so they don't go at the bottom. They go one slot above the bottom because they suck. Davis Mills, I know he had a good game against the Patriots the other week, but he stinks. And they'll just be exposed more and more over time. And this team is bad. I understand David Culley took the head coaching job because he wanted an opportunity to be a head coach. I don't fault him for that. I feel bad for him because this is a no-win situation to come into. Although he came to the Houston Texans, he chose this misery upon himself. The New York Giants at number 30, it certainly feels merited, valid. They just suck. And why does Gettleman still have a fucking job? It is so goddamn obvious to anybody with 2 eyeballs, or even 1 at that point, or even somebody that can read Braille. They know that Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones, is the absolute shits. They know he's not that dude. If you're a New York fan, you can keep wishing, hoping, and praying for some type of revitalization of him, Eli Manning style, towards the end of his rookie contract. What have you seen to make you think that that's ever going to happen? It's just not. And even if it does, do you want that to be your standard? Is that what you're looking for here? Yeah, the Giants stink, and Gettleman should have been canned by now. The Miami Dolphins at 29. Speaking of leadership that you should start to be on the hot seat, if not the nuclear fucking hot seat, Brian Flores and Chris Greer. They're 1-5. That's a travesty. For a team that won double-digit games last year, you've come out and you're 1-5. You had Tua back Sunday. You played the lowly-ass Jags, and you lost? And you can't blame Tua because Tua had a solid day. The fuck's going on here? Do I believe that the Miami Dolphins are one of the 5 worst teams in the league right now? You know what? I can certainly make the argument, and that's why I put them there. Because they lost to the fucking Jags, who I have at number 28. Because Jacksonville gets a little bit of props, a little bit of respect for what they did, although they did beat the Dolphins, and the Dolphins absolutely suck. So how much at the end of the day does that really count? I mean, honestly, how much does that really count? I look at them and I say, I have all types of concerns about the leadership of that organization, from Urban Meyer to General Manager Trent Baalke, and let's not even get to the fucking cons, especially the coked up fucking president of operations, whatever the hell he is, Tony Khan. I'm going to sit there and tweet storm wrestling's forum style. about my loser-ass AEW beating loser-ass WWE because I'm an idiot. That's what we're talking about here. That's how low the standards of bar are. Oh, my analytics. Your analytics told you took Blake Bortles 3rd overall in 2014 because you're a fucking idiot. But that said, sorry, Jags fans. I'm just all 25 of you. The Jaguars won. They get their first win. Yay. Trevor Lawrence is not a bust. He's not booty. I don't know how special he's going to be, honestly. I don't know if this situation is going to help him a ton. The Jets, they got the bye after the London game last week. I've got them at 27. I could be interchangeable with any of these 4 teams that are 27 through 30, honestly. And I also look at the Seahawks and say, they're a really bad team without Russell Wilson. They're not a very good team with Russell Wilson right now, even if he was healthy, but they're a really bad team without him. I'm not trying to disrespect Geno. I'm just saying, there's a significant difference between the two players. And when Russell's not in, a lot of those other flaws get exposed. In terms of some of the teams at the top of the rankings, you might look and say, why do I have the Kansas City Chiefs at 3-3 above a couple of other 4-2 teams? Because I just think they're better. And I don't think they're playing their best football by any stretch of the imagination, yet they're still 3-3. They face some tough teams so far. And what happens if they turn it on a little bit? Now, I don't think they're the best team in the AFC. Certainly wouldn't be my pick to go to the Super Bowl from that conference at this point. But, disrespect this Chiefs team at your own peril. They were not great in the first half Sunday against the Washington football team. Mistakes, bad turnovers, and they still ended up dropping 31 points. You cannot, with that team, take them too much for granted. So if you're asking me, do I think they're a better team than, let's say, the Tennessee Titans or the Las Vegas Raiders or the Cincinnati Bengals? Yes, I do. And I'll stand by that right now. Sorry. Not sorry. The Bills take a little bit of a drop here on this list just from the loss that they had on Monday night against the Titans. That was a rough deal right there. And then you might be saying, well, how come Tennessee's below Buffalo when they just beat Buffalo? Yeah, the head-to-head matchup matters, but overall body of work matters too. But then I also say, the Titans don't inspire a ton of confidence in me, but the Bills are a little bit of a tricky thing for me to figure out because their strength of schedule has been soft as shit so far. So are they really that great, or are they just beating up on some cupcakes when they have gotten their wins? The two, you would seem like semi-legitimate teams you could argue that they faced outside of Kansas City. You're talking about the Steelers, and you're talking about the Titans, and they lost to both of those teams. They did beat the Chiefs, so that matters, but they also faced some other cupcakes along the way. So let's not get too carried away just yet. The Chargers obviously have to drop a little bit after the Baltimore Ravens beat them like that. I saw Green Bay play live again on Sunday. This team looks good. They do not look great. They certainly would not be a team, if you're telling me who I think would pick from the Super Bowl out of the NFC right now, you're probably going Rams, Bucks, Cardinals would be my top 3 choices. Packers maybe are a distant 4th right now. But 5-1 is 5-1, I guess, so I'll put them there. I wonder, though, the Ravens, after that opening game loss to the Raiders on Monday night, overtime, blah, blah, blah. You look at this Ravens team, and they've turned it around, and they found something. Even with some of the injuries they've had, maybe those will eventually catch up to them, but right now they're not. They're just finding a way to win games. 5-1, again, is 5-1. This team looks legit. The Buccaneers at number 4, we're probably taking it for granted that they're going to be in the mix at the end of the year because they most likely are going to be. Same thing with the Rams at number 3. As I talk about the Rams, it's bringing in Stafford makes a difference. They're 5-1. They've got some studs on defense. They've got an offense that now with Stafford can actually be explosive and make some big plays, put up some points. It's a team you probably don't want to face in the playoffs. And my apologies a moment ago for the Cowboys fans that said, why in the fuck would you talk about the Green Bay Packers being a distant 4th? It's a fair point. Because I've got the Cowboys number 2 in the power rankings. Their one loss was to Tampa opening game on the road. Dak wasn't 100%. So if you're saying, well, Tampa beat them head-to-head, why aren't they ahead? Because trying to respect the Cowboys here a little bit. They struggled to beat the Patriots just like fucking Tampa did a couple of weeks ago. Well, this Cowboys team, you can still, if you're a Cowboys fan, talk about their defense, but how important is that defense? How much does that really matter? when you can do the things that they can do offensively and score the number of points that they can, you're going to win a ton of football games because you're playing modern NFL football. You're playing championship football in today's league. And the Cowboys are doing that right now. This is a team that, come playoff time, I would not want to face because of the multiple ways they can attack you on offense. And yeah, like, they feel like a contender right now. You could make an argument that I'm showing NFC bias here, but the reality is right now there are some teams that are clearly at the top of the league, and most of them are in the NFC. And then you've got the Arizona Cardinals at number 1. I'm waiting for this to come crashing down. But every week you got to start paying respect, and you got to start believing in them a little bit more. And acknowledging that, hey, you were wrong about them. Everybody's going to be right and wrong about different teams. And I was ass wrong right now about these Arizona Cardinals. I thought they were going to be at the back of this division, not fucking leading it, not with the only undefeated record in the game. Kyler Murray, MVP performance so far this season. He's on that list. This goes to show you, man, if you can connect and you can hit on that rookie quarterback, get him on that rookie deal and build that team around him. Like, that whole notion of you want to sit him on the bench and wait 2 or 3 years is idiotic. This is why you play a young quarterback like this from day one. Because even if he fucks up, even if he makes mistakes, the best way to learn is trial and error, trial and error. And if he is that dude, which Kyler Murray certainly in year 3 is starting to play like he's that dude, then your entire organization's better off for it and you're a damn contender. And right now, while it wouldn't be my choice as favorites, the Arizona Cardinals absolutely, positively are a contender, and you can ignore them or mock them at your own peril. And now watch they lose like 3 in a row because I put the Jeff Jinx on.